let's see what they got to do. Does a good run, 7:21. That would be.
Racing this little dragster belonging to Liz Malcolm. Moving on now into Super Pro ET. This is of course 8 down to 4 once again. And it is Ian Powell with the dragster. Teresa actually trying to sprint down the track there.
Well, this is their first run of the day. Obviously, they've been here since Friday.
This is their respect. Well, that's right. 2 rounds of elimination so far. Good driving, though. He's doing quite well. Sure, he gets straight out 3 feet. 7:58 to the station.
And boy, Eric does. There we go. So that's the mix just started. Eric will now walk forwards, or walk the bike forwards. It's amazing a bike with that much power it is to push it everywhere. But this thing is either on or off. There is no thrust till you press this button. Those two boosters either side of powers it down the Raceway itself. As you said, it went 5.2 yesterday, which is one of his best ever. And that's saying something because he runs his bike quite a lot in quite a few different places. So you will, like I said, hear a couple of pops and a bit of steam coming out the back there.
there. Next up then, it is Stu Doyney. Should have been alongside Stefan Retteltrap, but Stefan unable to make the call here, so I can only assume he's broken. So Stu Doyney on a solo then. Up run and goes, 9.93. Nice run there for Stu. Bob Bolden taking on the Colin Morris then. So Colin Morris then, he qualified number 8, Bob Bolden number 4, but really doesn't make any difference now. He moved first. And it is, well, Colin Morris, Bob Bolden was way out in front there. Okay, last ones then. These good friends off the track, actually pitting next door to each other in the pits. It is Tim Moore going alongside John Giles. Fair to say that Tim had a few issues in qualifying, but hopefully he's got it sorted out here. John Giles always there or thereabouts. Giles goes through with a 10-second run there, and Tim 11.7. Well, I think we've already discussed this, but the tyre for David Murdoch is running a new tyre. In the final of the Hillsborough District Eliminator, he's going to run through with a 7.9 on. Goodbye to the final and match race. Okay, next up then it is Super Pro ET. The man who's a constant party on wheels, a special way to describe this man. This is Colin Miller. Ran bang on his dial-in last time out. Going alongside the man from Cornwall, Ian Powell. In fact, it couldn't get much further apart actually. You got one from Cornwall and one from Fife in Scotland. And they meet here at Sandford Raceway in the semi-finals of Super Pro ET. The dial-ins, 8.44, which is exactly what Colin ran last time. Ian Powell, 7.99. So Colin Miller will be leading first. He qualified at the number 22 spot. Ian Powell qualified 8th. Forget that now. This is all about the race in front of you now. So in the auto-flip lane, the Outlaw Anglia, the dragster in the qualifier lane. But who is going to come out on top on this one? Get into the final, get a trophy at the end of the day. Ian Powell did get there, but Ian did have a better reaction on 0.6 to 0.15. So Colin Miller, congratulations, a fantastic weekend for Flying Fighter. Done yourself proud, but it is Ian Powell that goes through to the final. Second semi then, Billy Gane alongside Scott Hauser. Another dragster versus door car semi. Looking at Scott Lee, sunglasses. Oh, come there. dialing in 8.18. And Billy breaks out. Can I have Super Street Car into the pairing lanes, please? Super Street Car into the pairing lanes, please. And congratulations to Billy Gain into the final. Pro ET semis. Gino against Liz. Oh, Gino's changed the dial in for the first time this weekend. Goes to 9.53. I don't know why he's done that, because he's a clever man.
Bit of maths going on there. Yeah. This car's been running 9.40 all weekend, now dials in at 9.53, so he won't be sat there quite as long while Liz disappears into...
He likes the breathing space.
He does, yeah.
Liz Malcolm 11.20. The thing is though, if Gino sort of, well, if he runs 9.44, he'll kick himself. So let's see what happens there. Liz Malcolm onside Gino.
We know that Gino is likely to catch this, and he already has.
By the lesser amount, Gino goes through 9.48 on a 53. Gino in to the final. That's why Gino likes that breathing space. Okay, this is a good match. I think Glenn Pallant alongside Andy Wallace. Annie will be leaving her. She dials in a 10.18. It's been uber consistent all weekend long. But then, having said that, so has Glenn Pallant. This is really a pick and choose race. The winner will be taken on Gino.
Once again, another race that I feel will be won or lost on the start line. You know, number 4 and number 6 qualifier, they've been hitting the numbers the whole weekend.
All week. And that's reaction time. It's 0.25 ran in a 0.19 for Glenn. I think that was nerves for both of them actually, but it is Glenn. And there's a big breakout for Annie. Well, it's the first time she's broken out by a big margin this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gino versus Glenn in the final. Okie dokie, we move on in to Super Gas eliminations, round number 2 already. Take that long to get round. Stu Doherty taking on John Giles. There, 9.90 is the name of the game here. Both of them react perfectly to the lights. It's going to be a pick and choose race. It really is two great competitors. And it is Stu Doherty that takes the win. Both of them had 0-1 reaction times. But it is Stu Doherty actually goes into the semis where he gets a bye into the finals. How many times are we going to see Stu Doherty into a final? He wears number 1 on the car in Super Gas and in Supercom, champion in both classes last year, and he just continues. He's such a tough person to get around. Number 1 qualifier, Ronald House alongside number 8 qualifier, Colin Morris. But as I said to you earlier, forget about that now. This is out and out race. You've got to react really, really well to the lights. You've got to get to that. And it's Colin Morris that takes the win there. 10-0. When he actually backed out of it at the finishing line, knew he was ahead. But not by much. But anyway, Colin takes Right, Neil Hunter, he gets a solo here. Sets up the semi-finals then in Super Gas. It will be Colin Morris taking on Neil Hunter, and Stu Doyney gets a solo. Well, it's more of a case of these cars being eliminated and they're still here. And it's always good to get another run in, it's always good to get tuning in, and it helps set the car up, gives them more data. And you never know, that pesky little problem that's been annoying them for a while, you can suddenly find it, and then you think, oh, if only we'd have done that run at Centre Pod, we could have had that data going forward. And especially true there for Marcus Hill, who had the issues all weekend, then he comes out and does a time trial and does the best run of the weekend for it. Just doing adjustments on the wheelie bar, and as we were saying earlier on, why do they do it on the track, why don't they do it in the pits? Well, the racetrack is totally flat. Sometimes your pit area might be a bit uneven, and obviously if you do the burnout, you never know, you can just take a foul off the tyre circumference or whatever, and the suspension can move, so they always do it on the start line here just before the run. So Mike Malcolm then, in Pro Stock, on the time trial run. Morris with the green with envy jacket E-type. Qualified number 3 with a 10.94. Dave Cherritt in the number 2 spot. He ran at 10.92. Feeling pedalling, and it is.
points this one.
Steve Meatherballs and Rick Stubbins, number 1 and number 2 qualifiers made it through to the final.
Steve's been running in the 6.93, a new record. Let's see that. Steve is in the Audubon lane. Rick Stubbins in the qualifier.